Switch me on.
Are ya ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh!
Weekend harder.
Here I come.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I think he can hear you.
Don't move. It won't hurt you. Batman, what happened? Are you okay?
Fine.
Behold! My stuff.
Weekend harder.
Come into the coast, we get together, have a few laughs.
Hey everyone, and welcome to After the Weekend. We are here on Saturday night on Weekend Harder, where we get a little crazy. We do a little off-topic conversations. And R2, if he was here, he would yell. What does he say, Beard?
I don't know.
He says we're gonna do dick and fart jokes. How long have you been on the channel?
That's kind of like normal for me. So
okay. Well, now you get the first.
Move this man!
start right out with that, huh?
Yep.
All right. I see how it's going to be.
Seeing that
That's
intro
gonna
makes
be.
me miss R2. I'm JT Cap. We got Beard of Liberty on the side, and our other co-hosts R2 the Icky. He's on a break. So we all wish him well. Hopefully he's doing better, and he'll be back soon. Hopefully, and he'll be back. Because seeing that intro, all those funny gags that he created, does make me miss him on the channel. What do you think, Beard?
Yeah, I do kind of miss just being able to sit back and watch both of you argue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, usually when your parents argue, it's kind of like a sad thing, but it's kind of funny when y'all do it.
yeah. We have good moments on the channel as far as arguing who is right, or who messed up what, or who missed the whatever, right?
Yeah.
So we're always good. Well, we have a special episode tonight on Weekend Harder. Last Monday we you and I discussed our favorite kind of odd cartoons. It was our Royal Rumble. I had fun with that. Did you have fun with that?
That was really fun. Just quick question. Which one came out on top with the fan poll on X afterwards?
Doug did. Doug.
Hold on. Say that again. I think I misheard you.
Doug.
No, I don't think that's right. You said Animaniacs, right?
No, it was Doug. So no, it was Animaniacs did come out on top on the Twitter poll, which was fun, but Doug was close. So we had so much fun doing that. We're like, well, maybe we'll rank animated movies from the 90s, and that's what we do here. We kind of reminisce the past. It's not a normal Weekend Harder show where we do some pop culture stuff, but tonight we're just gonna stick to there's a lot of craziness out in the world right now.
Every now and then you just want to stop and have some fun.
Yeah. That's exactly what we want to do, and we're going to stop and have some fun. And we brought guests to join us to rank these movies. So I'm excited to bring them on. So first, we're going to bring on Alaska Man Jeff, and he brought his little. I'm pretty sure that's a beaver.
That would be correct. You know your animals.
He knew that this was a show that you have dick and fart jokes, so he knew it was okay to show a beaver.
Wow. You made him speechless.
I'm
Look at him. He's just trying not to. He's just taking it all in. Well, welcome,
You're
Jeff.
welcome.
How
Thanks for
are
having
you?
me.
Is it cold in Alaska yet, or is it still warm?
It is warm right now. It is in the 80s. Of the things I could be asked to join in on for this stream, animation is one I greatly appreciate because it is something I've been studying ever since I was, I think, about 12 when I first started dabbling with it. And
Back when you
big
were a Alaskan
fan.
boy, Jeff.
I was not an Alaskan boy back then. I was an Air Force brat during that time.
Oh, okay.
And you did draw the beaver.
Yes, this is one of the characters that I've been working on. Been doing a bunch of animations on the side, including 3D, 2D, done stop motion before. Spent a lot of time poring over big, massive books like Disney's The Illusion of Life and things like that. So
very cool. Very cool.
Wow.
If you want, I can put those all on display, but that would take some time to collect all of those books.
Well, you do some good work. You're just all your links and how to find you should be in the description. If not, we'll share them out later in the show. And then we're going to bring on a regular guest here. She's been on a few times. She lives in Arkansas with R2. And this is Untamed.
Not with. In the same state as.
No, they live with Arkansas.
State, like about 45 minutes away from each other.
No, Arkansas, you all live together in one house.
Sure. I'll go back to live in Alabama then. Because even though everyone's married to their cousin, they're in separate houses.
You just have attachments to the houses. That's all you have. How are you been? Doing pretty good?
Doing pretty good. Just got off about an hour or so ago playing with math rocks. Because that's what you do. You throw the math rocks around and hope for the best.
Okay.
Hope you can get through eating White Castle without issue.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever going to forget that.
No one will ever forget that my character pooped in a bag in an alleyway because she ate White Castle.
What?
Look, if you don't know, you just have to go back through the archives and find the original story. That's all you're getting.
Okay.
So when you play role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, you have to do what is called a Constitution saving throw when you eat or do something that could possibly make you sick. I failed the saving throw. What happened?
Okay. I'm sorry.
And it is now in D&D history and it never leaves.
Well, if anybody's interested in looking in that episode, where can they find it?
They can find it on my channel because I typically simulcast while we're playing Dungeons and Dragons, so you can look at it on my channel, or you can go to Nadia's channel, Inside All Day Gaming, and we've got the shows there or the episodes there as well.
Okay, very cool.
Like the first or second episode too.
Well, both of you were excited to have on to talk about these these animated movies from the 90s. Are you excited to do this? I'm sure you've done this before, right?
I've not. I've ranked them in my head and like with friends, but I've never like officially.
Oh, okay. So this is official. Well, it's basic. If you haven't seen this before, if anybody's on the show watching, or you or Jeff have not done this, basically this is on TierMaker.com, and then you basically we have super. So these are the top of the top. And then we have A, B, C, D, all the way down to F, and then never seen. Because there might be some on here that maybe all four of us have not seen before, so we can't really rank them. And then basically,
I have a feeling most of these are going to be S and A tier. It's just a feeling because 90s.
Okay.
Ooh, I
Okay.
saw that. I saw Jeff cock his head there. He looks like he wants to fight.
So
with it
basically,
already.
we'll go down the line here, and then we just drag them on. We just drag them on the thing. We can move them around, that kind of stuff. So, it's pretty. It looks pretty simple.
Yeah, let's just jump in.
Yeah. So, I think we're all kind of grew up in this decade of the '90s when animated movies were kind of a big hit, right? There was Disney. There was, I think Fox Animation was doing a lot of stuff. There were some other people out there.
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon. So it was popular. It was like the last, right before. It was kind of right before. You got where you started getting the things like Toy Story. I mean, Toy Story's in here, but you started. It was right before you started getting those type of animations. So it was a great. It was a fun decade.
This is the last great era of 2D animation.
Yeah, I would say that. Yes. Yep.
At least, like Hollywood produced 2D animation. There's plenty of like independent stuff today that's still fantastic.
And some can say with music, not a lot of cartoon animated movies now with the CG and stuff. It has music. So.
Yeah,
Music was one of the first casualties around the turn of the century.
Yeah, and then they're slowly bringing it back.
Radio star.
Yeah. So we're going to get started. We'll just go right off the top here. I'm not sure if anyone you know of this one, but this one's called The Christmas Tree. Does anybody know of The Christmas Tree?
Is this a Charlie Brown?
Nope.
Never mind. Charlie Brown Christmas.
Okay.
It is not Charlie Brown Christmas. Remember, this is from the 90s.
Right. Sorry, I thought
I can't say that I've seen that one.
This is I believe that there was a time where it came on television at one point, but I have no memory of it other than like one or two scenes.
So it came out in 1991.
I was not born yet.
You weren't born yet. Okay, so yeah. And basically, our heartless lady runs an orphanage where kids live miserably conditions, and all they want is pretty much a happy Christmas.
I feel like I might have seen it, but it was in passing. Like I didn't realize I had seen it.
Seen it.
Okay.
Definitely not.
So are we saying that? Where are we going with this one? Have we never seen this movie?
I'd say never seen.
Okay. It sounded like Jeff seen this movie.
I've only seen like two or three scenes like stand out in my head, but I have no memory of it other than that. And it wasn't memorable enough to go and dig it up again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird with some movies when you like, I know I've seen this, but I cannot remember it.
Okay, well, we'll put that at the never seen. Now, this one I'm sure you've seen, I'm pretty sure you've seen most recently, and this is the Batman cartoon movie, Mask as Phantasm. So, like, what do you think this one is?
That's got to be up there.
Minimum A. Minimum
A. That whole era of Batman in the animated series is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely put it higher up. A, B. Definitely not in the S tier. But as for the medium that it had, definitely higher up.
Yeah, this one came out in 1993. It was right around when the animated TV show was really popular. And I think this is one of the first movies that they did. And it's actually really good.
Just for the fact that the techniques that they used in that show in the movie, where they would paint the Gotham skyline on black paper to make the darks really dark, as opposed to like trying to paint dark on white. That alone is an A tier. I agree. Probably not S, but it is very much an A.
Now it had a bad guy a villain that we really weren't sure of either before. Like when I was a kid, I don't think it wasn't like the Joker or
no. This was a new villain. Jeff, did you look like you had something you wanted to say?
I'm reevaluating. I'm thinking it probably falls within a B to a C.
Oh, okay.
Because of quality.
Okay, interesting.
The quality is not within the top two, definitely. Within the B, I think it would be a low B or a high C.
Okay. So what do we say? There's 4 of us.
I could just any kind of animated Batman movie. I can't put it below A. That's just me
Okay,
personally.
so we got 1A, Beard.
Actually, looking back objectively on as much as I love that series, I guess I can kind of see what you're saying there, Jeff. So this might be up to you, JT, because I'm like a B.5. Like I'm right there in the middle.
Well, we don't have a B.5, so I guess
Yeah,
it's
I
gonna
know.
have to go B. We'll see. We'll see. Mando, sorry.
I mean, it definitely is top tier for TV show animation, but that was a movie, so I guess I can understand the being a little bit less because it kind of adhered a little bit more to how the TV show was as opposed to what you might get for films at the same era.
Well, here's a different type of movie, and I'm sure most of us have seen it or have seen it recently, and that's The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is very popular. When it came out, it was stop motion. It was very different. Musical, songs you can remember. I mean, they actually theme this this entire they theme Disneyland really off of this entire movie, on the Haunted Mansion during Christmas. So it's
On
very
this
popular.
one, don't ask me. I've seen it. I've never really cared for it.
I'm going to place it at
So-
A at the moment because it is a popular show. It is, but I think sometimes the hype is more popular than the actual movie.
Yeah, I appreciate the effort putting in to make it stop motion, but I've just never really cared about the story. I think it's overrated.
Okay, all right.
I think that the animation was awful. I on animation alone,
Okay.
I give it F tier.
Wow.
They failed at the basic fundamentals. Wait, hold it just a second before we put into true F tier. Animation wise, they failed the basics of animation. They didn't have squash and stretch in a very logical way. The timing was off. The follow through animations were way off. They were just getting started. And the reason why I put it that low in terms of animation, Wallace and Gromit was doing better animation during that time frame with the same material.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
Romus.
the reason why I would not put it in F though is because of the music. Story gets a D, animation gets an F, music gets a B, maybe a C.
Well, maybe
if they were to redo this film, I think this is like prime for having a full remake of this film because I feel like the animation was so rough, it could greatly benefit from it.
Well, could you see them doing that on purpose though?
No,
it was kind of creepy.
No. It was because they didn't know about the medium very well. In fact, if you look at behind the scenes, they were trying to build it up as if they were experts in the field, and you could see they were using techniques that Wallace and Gromit's production would have cringed at.
So a remake of that these days would greatly benefit, would you say, from kind of the Lego movie style where it looks like it's stop motion, but it's actually CG, and just like full on embrace the like you were saying, like the typical animation thing, squash and stretch and things like that. Make it more dynamic.
It could benefit from that. I think the real catch right here is that Tim Burton has done stop motion afterwards, and it's much smoother and a lot more true to kind of what he envisioned.
Okay.
Tim Burton was always a weird one. The Disney company did not think very highly of him. I'm not a big fan of his, but I can respect what he has done. If you look at his animation, though, it was incredibly rough because his team was brand new to it.
Yeah.
Later on, they would fix it. And so because of what Tim Burton's later films looked like, I cannot even give it like the benefit of the doubt for style.
Okay. All right. By the way, Wallace and Gromit was a TV. They did theirs was on TV for a while in the 90s. Their first movie was sometime in the 2000s. So
Mando, do you want to weigh in on this one? Because I'm kind of getting the feeling, Jeff, don't let me put words in your mouth, but I'm kind of feeling you might want to go with D on this one, just in the average.
Me? You're talking to me?
No, for Jeff, but I also want to give Mando a chance to weigh in on this one before you cement it.
Low C, high D.
Whoa. Okay. So like right here. We'll put it right here for the moment.
I would agree with the C. When I first watched it, I just enjoyed the story. I thought it was a very cute story. It was just one of those like, aw, it's cute, creepy cute, kind of one of those like little niche. Would I watch it again willingly? Like if it's on, I'll watch it. Am I gonna pick it? Probably not. But I had fun
Wow.
just the little story. Like I enjoyed it for the story aspect, but
We watch
didn't
this
like
every Christmas. So,
see,
I
I
didn't see
watched
that
the
until I was
old
in high
Frosty
school.
the Snowman, the old Rudolph,
well,
old
but yeah, but
Claymation stuff
we don't really.
every
I
year.
mean, okay, I'll give you all a C on this one.
Oh, he's gonna come back and just say, "No, I gave you the C on that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do what I want on this other one. You just watch. He's gonna use this."
All right, so the next one is I believe it's Trolls in Central Park or Troll in Central Park. Does anyone see?
I give it a solid B to A. I really enjoyed that movie when I was a kid.
Okay, is there
Never
a reason
saw it, so I'll
why?
defer.
Just because you
Well,
enjoyed it?
Yeah, like whenever it first because I was much younger and it could be a lot of nostalgia. I'm not saying it's not. I remember I liked it and nobody else I knew like around that time even knew the movie was a thing.
Yeah, most people
So.
don't. It came out in '94. So it right around about the same time as the other three that we talked about. I've never seen it, to be honest, so I really can't give it a grade. Beard or Jeff?
Never saw it.
This is another one where I saw clips of it.
Okay.
I never actually saw it. I saw like half of it. As for animation, I think the animation was pretty decent for what they had.
It kind of looks like the style from like the '90s. Like it very much so looks like Land Before Time, American Tail type of style. So, okay. Well, we'll give it to Mando. We'll say since she's the only one that's seen it, so we'll trust her skills.
There were times I've watched some random stuff, so like that. Yeah, that's just one of those. Like, there's a couple on here I'm surprised they're even on here because I didn't know of anyone else besides myself that watched them.
Okay.
All right.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you never know, right? All right. So now we got We Are Back. It's about some dinosaurs that come to Manhattan.
I love that movie, so I know I'm biased. I am super biased on that one. I know that.
So it's called We Are Back. Some dinosaurs try and I think they either try time travel or they.
Yes,
that sounds
they
so
do time
familiar.
travel.
I probably have seen it. I have no memory of it, which makes me think it's got to be D or less because I cannot remember it.
Yeah, so this is another.
Really?
This movie came in '93 again, so about the same time as Trolls in Central Park. The art style is about the same, but yeah, a time traveling scientist goes back to prehistoric times and feeds dinosaurs magic cereal that increases their intelligence, and then they come back.
Yeah, take my opinion on this one with a grain of salt because I have vague memeries of it.
And
so
John
it's
Goodman
entirely possible that I've just seen the commercials. So anyway,
yeah, this yeah, I'm trying to see who
for you guys. It's a great movie.
No, I think I've seen it once.
Jeff is making faces.
Well, this is a tough one because again, this is one that I've seen parts of. The animation was mediocre, but there were some that were actually pretty good. I do not know the story, and that's part of my problem. Is I know it from the animation side because it's in the books that I would read, but I haven't actually taken the time to watch it. So as for animation, decent. I won't say that it's the best that's out there, but it's pretty darn high in terms of quality.
It does have its rating as far as like IMDb is a little bit lower than I would the one we just talked about, and that's the Trolls in the Park. No, actually, that one's got a lower rating. So I don't know. Mando, so do you think this is a C or a B?
I'd say a B because the storyline was fun, especially if you like if you're a small kid who likes dinosaurs.
Okay.
like it's got aspects that are a little scary, because at one point in time there's like a rival doctor who runs a circus, and he reverts the dinosaurs back to their original like bloodthirsty state, and it's pretty scary. And the reason why the dinosaurs agree to it is because the mean circus man is gonna hurt the kids that are with them on this trip and stuff. So like I like the plot. It's a fun movie. It's got some serious undertones with it. But yeah, I love dinosaurs. I used to want to be a paleontologist. So
I mean, a third of this list in the ranking is probably going to be Mando's opinion. But also, let me just throw this out there. Remember, we have a ton of other movies to get through, and they can't all be B and above.
We do. So you might have to change some.
I mean, this is also a really good era of animation, so I can also kind of understand it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna keep it for now. We're gonna keep these two at a B. We'll see if things change when we go further. Now, this one I'm gonna say is probably gonna be up in the S's, and this is Lion King.
Without a doubt, S tier.
Yeah.
This
absolutely.
one really changed. I think this was one of those first movies that Disney did where it combined hand animation with computer animation, because the scene with the wildebeest, right, when they were
just in general, the entire thing overall, even down to the music. I had the music book that I played my dang middle school saxophone to.
Yeah, so this was 94. I think this was peak Disney animation, because you had Lion King, and then before this you had like Little Mermaid. I think Beauty and the Beast came a little bit before that, a little bit after.
Mm-hmm.
So you went Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King.
Yeah, I think Lion King was a peak of those movies. So
you will actually see the merger of animation as far back as Aladdin, and technically it was before that. But the first time that I felt like where they just ignored the art and just went full into the story and the art style, that comes down to the fact that they had figured out all kind of the kinks of the whole production process and just invested heavily into the
I would
story.
say this was an S tier, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, look at
R2,
our
challenge
right now.
R2's here just
am I gonna have to drive 45 minutes up and smack you, and then drive 45 minutes back?
Just do this to him.
So I have to give a little bit of history on this one, because this film is so incredible. This was given to the B team at the Disney Animation Studio. The A team was given Pocahontas, and so they put all their money into Pocahontas, and they didn't know if Lion King was actually going to succeed. They just said, "Hey, make it work," and it was just going to be Bambi in Africa, and they started having kind of this very deep soul-searching venture as they went into it, because a lot of them turned out that they had lost their fathers.
Yeah.
And so that became the big story element for the film. And so they came out on top by a massive margin over top of Pocahontas, and no one thought it was going to work. They said, "You guys are the rejects. Here's a reject story. You are not going to succeed."
Now they're making
and they said, fully on that, we're going to go out and make a masterpiece.
Yeah, I mean, it's a typical, father successor movie. It has some resemblance to Hamlet and stuff, so it's a really good. I always thought it was the soundtrack alone would make it an A.
Yeah, one of my favorite movie theater memories. I still remember the first time I saw Lion King in the theaters. Sitting there, like my parents, my siblings, or whatever, and they get done with a big Circle of Life done, like music, and it goes, Circle of Life, boom, the screen goes black, and it just shows the Lion King logo, and in that 1 second of silence, you hear this tiny little kid somewhere in the theater go, "Mommy, is it over?"
I thought you were gonna.
I will never forget that. The entire place just laughed, just erupted laughter.
I thought you were gonna do this.
No, that was later when Scar got his comeuppance.
Oh, okay. Very good, very good. Okay. Now we have another one on here. I think this one's on here twice for some reason, but whatever. The Swan Princess. Anybody remember the Swan Princess?
I'd give it a B.
A B.
Solid
Okay.
B.
Yeah.
Solid B.
So you think it's the same level as Batman and the?
No. Better.
I think it's better. You have to remember where these people came from when they made the animation. There was a brief moment where they actually thought that they would be a competitor to Disney, and their animation was actually improving fast. So I look at it in terms of the story, which was actually pretty well, the animation, which was very close to Disney at the time. The music was pretty good. It's not an A, but it's definitely not a C.
This came out right around the same time as Lion King. And a couple of those other two.
I guess for me personally, like watching it, like it's not something I remember that I have seen it, but the plot just didn't really speak to me, I guess.
It's a power-hungry sorceress.
I honestly, I've heard rumored this is one of the reasons why Disney didn't want to touch Swan Princess is because it was actually done so well that they would have kind of been competing against that in terms of nostalgia purposes. So while they could actually do it, they did such a good job on this one. It put Disney in kind of a corner to try and pursue their own variation.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I do remember this one briefly, and I do remember a lot of people liking it. I'm actually gonna say A for me.
All right. I have no opinion. I never saw it.
All right. I still gave you Night Before Christmas at a C. So just anybody wants to know that. All right.
If we have to negotiate, we're going to be here for 3 hours.
All right. So the next one is Thumbelina.
I love it so much.
Okay, but do you love it more than these three?
I definitely love it more than Swan Princess for sure.
When was the last time you saw it?
4 years ago, actually.
Oh.
Really? Oh,
I've never seen it, so I can't make
it. The craziest thing, it came on my recommended on like YouTube, and I was like, I'll pay a few bucks and rent the movie. For me, what really sticks out is the soundtrack. I still remember certain songs from Thumbelina. So yeah.
So where are we going with Thumbelina?
I think it's at least A to B, but I understand it's a princess movie.
Is it on the same level?
That's not my criticism. My criticism is actually the music and the story.
Okay, that's between you two.
I went back to start watching it a couple years ago. It was so bad. It was one of the few times where I actually turned off the animation. I was like, I couldn't finish it.
Yeah. Okay. So between you two, I'm guessing it's a B or a C.
I will definitely give it a C because I know that people really enjoy it, but I think it's it's a high D in my book.
A high D.
We're gonna have to get some
I am
B's
not
in
that
here.
small.
That's what she said.
I knew that was gonna have to show up eventually.
All right.
I'm 5'2". I'm not that tiny.
So, Mando, is it better than Trolls in Central Park or We Are Back?
I would say it's at the same level as them, but I can understand that it's not for everybody. Me personally,
statistically, we should end up with more like around the B tier than anything else.
Maybe.
So we'll
we can leave it at C for now. I won't argue. It's one of my personal favorites.
But she also won't come back for the next show.
Okay. Well, this one, I do remember.
Also, it's S tier, and I will fight you.
It is S tier all the way. It is the animated film and anthem of Alaska.
I will fight anyone who disagrees that it is not S tier. I will find a way to come to wherever you are and stab you.
Ooh, in Minecraft, YouTube, in Minecraft, of course.
You're out. Doyle rule.
That's what I got from Mando there.
Yeah.
We're just gonna leave it at S. We're gonna move on.
I'm
from
okay
that.
with that.
I would agree with that, but
By the way, I will say
the
the music in Balto is truly magnificent. If you've not listened to the soundtrack, it's really good.
I don't remember it too much, but I do remember it being really a good movie. I just don't haven't watched it in a while. Now, this one's one of my favorites, and I would say this could be an A or an S. And this is the Goofy movie.
The perfect cast.
I'm gonna say A for Goofy movie, but if anyone's saying S, I would put it there. It's
I don't
got a
think
new character, which is Max, which he is. If you lived in the '90s and you were a little boy like him, or preteens, I guess that was you.
It's also got Pauly Shore as his best friend.
Yeah, it's a cheese whiz kid. Yeah. And Pauly Shore's in it, which we did Son-in-Law on Monday, which was fun. But
yeah, I agree with A. It's not a perfect movie, but it is a damn fun one.
It's a fun movie, like, because that's the movie he goes
Fun
to. He goes to the concert where like the goofy MC Hammer's in it, which is
Powerline.
Which there's people that know that song and dance like it's amazing.
Look, it's a good father-son story.
It is, and he had a crush. I've been there, man.
It's definitely in the A tier. It's not S tier because of one thing in my book. It's captive to the era that it was made in.
Right.
For it to become S tier, it has to become truly nostalgic.
Timeless.
Yeah.
Timeless.
Good point.
You could say it's some of that stuff could date it. Yes, like Lion King, you could watch that any point of time. Some could say about that for Nightmare for Christmas as well. All right, so okay, the next one we got is the Gumby movie. Has anybody seen the Gumby movie?
Never saw
I've
it.
seen it.
Is it a B?
You have. Don't you give that anything? If you put this in B again, I'm gonna mute you.
No. I'd say this is B. It's funny. Is it like objectively it's atrocious, but it's just a fun, goofy, like little haha thing. Like,
okay.
I agree. D, possibly even an F, but animation's decent. It's not
it is
good.
Gumby. I mean, Gumby was fun.
Gumby was one of the first animations I actually remember seeing as a kid.
Yeah, it was on TV. It was fun. So I'm not sure what this movie is. If you can tell from the logo, it looks like a generic Snow
hold
White.
on.
Yes, I remember hearing about this. I've not seen it, but I remember hearing about it.
I've seen it. It did not. I would put it in F to D.
All right,
it wasn't that great.
Okay, all right. We'll move on. So we're gonna go to where the A.
Objective.
We're gonna go to the next movie, which was apparently from Trivia Jeff here, Pocahontas, which was the A team. So since you put Lion King at S, would we say Pocahontas is an A or a B?
It is an S, without a doubt.
What?
They were both
Really?
Masterpieces. What they did with the movie, with the sci-fi movie Avatar, was a cheap knockoff off of this masterpiece.
But there's another one on this list. People can say that too as well.
True, but what they did for Pocahontas, like honestly, if you go back and watch the film from an artistic perspective, beautiful.
I do remember the song.
Is beautiful. The story is touching and actually carries out emotion very well, which animation can do really well, and it can also just kind of fall flat. But this one, it hit very well.
This one I never watched multiple times, so for me, I really can't put that in an S. So
I mean,
I could say A for some of the.
I remember I tore up the VHS watching that movie so much. That and Lion King, the VHSs were just toast.
Okay, so you would also say an S then, Mando.
Mm-hmm.
Beard?
Yeah, look, I'm going to give it great animation. I remember none of the songs, but I also know that I did not watch it very often, which is weird because I'm pretty sure as a young kid I thought Pocahontas was hot, so I probably would have.
You don't remember Just Around the River Bend and Savages? Like,
no.
Oh my
I
goodness!
remember more of Lion King songs than I do Pocahontas. I actually
Here,
remember
put this
more
to
of.
your list of movies to watch.
I'm gonna
top-notch.
defer on this one because I
Nope.
know that I did not
It's-
watch this nearly as much as I watched any other Disney movies.
It's split down the middle. We're gonna have to put it in an A. I'm sorry.
Mm,
Remember, I gave you Night Before
sound like a
Christmas.
bunch of savages for not knowing this movie.
Right? They just need to go around the riverbend and watch this again.
hmm
I'll mute you both. Don't tempt me.
I'm very upset that they
Do
didn't
it.
have, Sasquatch in it. So
Pocahontas is also Mad Max meets.
Hey, Cocoa pretty close to a Sasquatch.
now, if we were reviewing 80s animation, I would put this one in S, but this is the second one. This is All Dogs Go to Heaven 2. This one wasn't as great as the first one. I remember the first one very well, and I remember it being a movie that I watched once or twice, but I could not watch it because it's just so heartbreaking.
Yeah,
The first one. The second one doesn't really make sense to me, but I think they were just trying to get the money grab on this one. So I'm gonna go C on All Dogs That Go to Heaven 2.
I would put it at B. Like, I thought it was a fun story. I liked the like.
You know what? Every time Mando says I'm gonna put it in B.
Rise and shine. And don't forget your booties, because it's cold out there today.
It's okay.
like I can't say much. I don't remember the second one at all, and I barely remember the first one. So
Remember, Mando, we all
love you. You love me.
I have to agree with Mando. I believe this is a B, a solid B. It's
okay.
It's not a C. It's better than Thumbelina,
okay.
but it's definitely not,
probably
not
be
a
here.
masterpiece.
I would say
I would agree with that.
Thumbelina. I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
All
It's
right.
better than Thumbelina.
Would you
All right,
say
that
it's
works.
better than? Would you say it's the same movie? These two movies together.
I think it's better than that.
Oh, Beard.
I have almost no recollection of this film. So
All right. Well, I moved Thumbelina to D, and we're moving All Dogs Out of Heaven 2 to B. All right. So now we've got, this was another favorite of mine. I'm not sure if your parents let you watch this movie. This is one of those movies
F tier.
where you would sneak off and watch at your friend's house, or maybe sign a note for. And this is Beavis and Butthead Do America, which
I would say F.
this movie has got to
For
be at
F
least
you.
a B, because it was the MTV era, but everyone was a fan of Beavis and Butthead. And there were some funny jokes in this movie. Even if you weren't like really got them as a kid, you got some of them.
So here's the reason why I would put it in F. The animation, the voice acting, the story, awful, absolutely atrocious.
Oh, yeah.
The only reason why people would put it higher is because of gags. Walt Disney pointed out in the early 1900s that gags do not make a good film. They make it because all the animations to that point were gags. How many of you, when you are thinking about good animations, would think back to Felix the Cat? Not the remakes or the additions, but the original ones. All those things were gag related. This is an example of a gag film.
yeah, I
Okay.
can appreciate that. I mean, the animation was never trying to be top tier. The story
No.
was never trying to be top tier.
No.
I am completely capable of enjoying something that I recognize is kind of garbage, and Beavis and Butthead falls into that. So, yeah, it's
All right.
definitely
All
low
right.
on this totem pole.
We'll put it on F. All right. So this was another movie, same kind of stop motion, like Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's James and the Giant Peach, which I love the book, by the way. It's a great, fantastic book. I would say this was an A for me.
I liked it.
It was fun.
It's dark, but
It is,
fun
but
dark.
so is the book. So it was.
Yeah,
it
the
was-
book. I think I remember reading the book, and granted, I prefer books over any visual media anyway. But I still had fun with this movie.
Okay.
I don't have an opinion on this one. I saw the animation. It's better than Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know if it's as well beloved. So I don't know if I would put it higher than that. It's, at least from what I've heard, it's definitely within the BC category, but I've not watched it.
Okay. Oh, Beard, what do you think? Oh, you're on mute. Well, I'm gonna go Mando here. I'm gonna say B. All right. I'm going averages here. All right. So the next one, this is a a sequel to The Land Before Time, and this is, I believe, this is. I can't remember if this one is the second one. This is Journey Through the Mist.
I think that's the third
yes, I
one.
know this one.
Is this the third one?
I think that I feel like it's the third one. It's either the second or third one.
Now, Land
Granted, I have
Before-
watched all of The Land Before Times, and I get them mixed up sometimes.
Yeah, Land Before Time. That was such a great movie, but that came out in the 80s, 88 actually. Now, this was the fourth one, and this is the Journey Through the Mist. This is when Littlefoot's grandfather gets sick, and they have to go find a flower to cure him.
Ah, yes.
I don't really remember this one, but I'm guessing since it's the fourth movie, it's probably right around here, a C or a D.
I only ever saw the first one.
It's not great, but I will say, of the films that came after the first one, it's one of the better ones. So I put it as a D.
Okay.
I'd at least have it as a C.
Well, yes, a C is possible, but it's somewhere in that area. It's yeah.
I'm gonna go here. Let's go here. C needs some
I
love.
think for me, like I was really close to my grandma, and so that story of like grandparent being sick and you having to save it has like a little special place in my heart.
All right.
Okay, now I'm gonna kind of jump ahead here because they're kind of out of order. So I'm going to jump to Aladdin before we do the Aladdin sequels. But I'm gonna do Aladdin here. This one I would say was up here to S.
Yeah.
I actually
Definitely in the S category.
Way better than Pocahontas. So
I disagree.
You got to watch Pocahontas again, sir.
No.
Oh my goodness.
It had Robin Williams in it. Fantastic animation. Good music.
Yeah. I remember watching this movie in the movie theater where me and my friend ordered one of those giant popcorn buckets. We got so excited about the movie. I don't want to put any blame, but one of us tipped that bucket and it went all down the old school movie theater. Like, remember when everything was on a slant? Everything slid down.
And sticky.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, Aladdin.
You don't need to tell us what happened when Jasmine showed up on screen. You keep that to yourself.
All right, so now we're gonna do the other Aladdins. We'll do this real quick here. So we got, I think, The Return of Jafar, which is the second one. And again, I feel like any sequels, because these were like two DVD. These weren't even in the movie theater. These were VHSs.
That one's a D, if not an F.
I kind of agree.
Yeah, these weren't that great.
Prince of Thieves
was way better than Return of the Jafar. So
I agree.
Close in F category.
All right.
Yeah.
Now then the other one is the third one, I believe.
Prince of Thieves.
Prince of Thieves, I enjoyed it.
It's actually pretty good. Definitely not S tier like the original, but it's pretty darn good.
Would you say
I'd say C or D.
Okay. All right. I was waiting for Mando to say B. All right. Okay, so let's jump to the Jetsons. I remember watching this movie in the movie theater. I thought it was fun. I don't remember
I don't think
it.
I saw it.
But it
really?
It was at the time where they were making movies, like Tom and Jerry. They were making movies for these old cartoons, these classic cartoons. Instead of doing like what they did for the Flintstones, where they went live action, they did this. And it was a fun movie. I don't remember most of it, though. I don't remember it. I remember it being fun, but I don't remember the premise. But I do think George loses his job or something like that.
No. I don't know. I'm going to defer to you guys because I don't know if I've ever seen it. If I did, I don't remember.
I'm going to put it. I'll put it around C. I think that should be good where that would go. This one is called I've never seen this one. Clouds and the Wind or something.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Well,
Nope.
based on everybody's reaction to that, that's going to the never seen. And then we have the sequel to Rescuers, which came out in the 80s, and this is Rescue Down Under. This was one of my favorite movies, adventure movies. I would say it's an A for me.
I would as well.
It was just so much fun. I actually liked it better than the first one. And
I was about to say that I liked it better than the first one as
I
well.
wanted to ride that eagle.
Didn't we all?
Yeah.
This movie
Not in
is
that
when
way.
this was movie that I believe it was the second film to actually implement the merger of 3D and 2D.
Yeah.
In fact, this was the first movie where they actually invested into doing everything digitally with the final coloration and
Mhm.
compositing. So
Okay.
it was incredibly important in terms of film history. Music's good, story's better than the previous, and oh my goodness, the character of McLeach is second to none.
Oh yeah, he was a fun bad guy. Very good. Here's another Disney one. I'm guessing this one will also be an S. It's Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, I will. I
Absolutely.
would consider it S tier.
This one, I don't think we have to argue about this one.
Bella's the reason why I love
mean,
to read.
The music's great, and as far as animation goes, it's already really good. But then when you get to the like dancing in the ballroom scene, it still holds up.
Oh yeah, it does. I'm gonna jump to Ferngully because it's similar to Pocahontas.
I would put it as S tier. I know people will definitely fight me on that one.
I will
but
fight you. I
to
will not
me-
fight you on that one. This one I like better than Avatar, and I also like better than Pocahontas. And it's a fun movie. I remember really enjoying this. I would say it's an S for myself.
I
love the music for sure.
It's gonna start at an S. Looks like Beard and Jeff
The
might.
animation is decent. It's not great. It's in the A category for animation. Story hit is one of its biggest Achilles heels. I would probably put it in the B category.
Ooh.
It's not memorable for the music in the same way these other ones are. Compared to these other ones,
Not memorable.
compared to these other ones, when you ask people to list a
Robin
piece of
Williams
music,
is also in this.
he is, but he is a benefit to the story that was already suffering, in my opinion. You have to remember, this was done, if I remember right, this was one of the first animated films done by an Australian company. The plot line that they went with was highly politically driven, which, in my opinion, when they do that, they can have a good story that has political elements, but if it's politically driven, the story always suffers. And I felt like this one, it suffered.
Yeah. I've only seen this a couple of times, and that I think kind of gives my thoughts on the film because I just don't care for it. It's fine, but nothing about it is memorable to me. Nothing has ever made me want to go back to it like some of these other classic films.
Batty, just the song, like just his song, like my name is Batty. Like,
yeah,
really?
I'm sorry, no.
Okay, we're gonna put it. Looks like would we agree A or B?
I would lean closer to B.
B.
Okay. Well, me and Mando. Okay.
See, I told you he was going to come back and say it's my choice.
I guess we'll put it at B.
I mean, because honestly,
compared to these other animations on this list here.
Yeah, if it was just me, because it's so non-memorable, and I know I've seen it,
And
I would
to make
put it probably a D.
All right, and then maybe we'll move Pocahontas up here.
There we go. Success.
Compromise.
It's the same dang movie. So,
Basically.
all right, so we're gonna jump around here. Another one. This will be a fun one. Let's do a non-Disney one. Let's do American Tail. Now, this is the sequel to. This is where he goes west. So
I still think this is better than the original, so I'd put it at A.
This
personally.
one I would say it's not a Disney movie again. It's a sequel, but it's a good sequel. It's the going west or go out west.
We wish the secret weapon. My little sister, when she was little, thought that my little sister thought the line was "We wees the secret weatherman."
Yeah. Mhm.
So one thing I will say, this film was based upon the original characters of Don Bluth. Don Bluth, he was he's kind of the black sheep of the animation world. Some people love him, some people hate him. I'm in the category that leans more towards he's not a very good storyteller. But when it came to the sequels, they usually were handed off to other people to make it. And so the original one, I believe, is worse because Don Bluth was a little too controlling over it. The second film is so much better.
Oh yeah.
I would
Right.
definitely put it actually in the high A, low S category.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't have it, so it's gonna go A. I would say A.
Yeah, I'd say solid A.
Agreed.
Very solid.
All right, so we're gonna go to another non-Disney movie. I'm gonna jump around here. We're gonna do Anastasia. This was from a Fox animation.
S tier. I know I have biases, but that is an S tier for me. It has a lot of personal memories for me.
I would agree. This is a very good movie. Fox actually built a studio to go against Disney. Disney was, kicking butt for the first part of the 90s there. So to compete with them, they built their own studio. And I do remember that I think it was in Phoenix, Arizona, Fox Animation. And they
it
cranked
wasn't
out
entirely made by Fox. Again, remember what I said about Don Bluth? This is a Don Bluth film. So he came into the project
in the animation. You can see his touch.
But it's a fun movie. It's about the Russian princess that.
So where would you rank it, Jeff?
I would put it in a low A, high B.
Wow.
The reason why is because the animation was good. The music it wasn't great. I will say that the music was good, but when I think about great music, I have to put it lower than the other ones. It is, here's the thing that really gets it. I think that it was I think it was the pacing and the story of the film that hurt it the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
it could do well to have a remake, honestly.
Yeah.
I think they could do a really good remake with it.
Yeah.
So we haven't done. So we got it. I put it at BA. That would satisfy me and Mando here.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic animation, but I don't remember music, so it's fine.
We're gonna do another jump around here. Another non-Disney movie, but one of our first ones where it's human, live action and animation. That's Space Jam.
I had fun. I would put it at like a B or C.
I wouldn't say it's if you're gonna think if you would watch this like now and be like, oh yeah, that's a great movie. No. As a kid though, it was very fun. It had Michael Jordan in it. He was huge at the time.
Fun, but it's stupid.
Yeah, it's a Looney Tunes. Yeah, yeah. I would say
C.
I would say it's probably on par with some of these here.
It doesn't mean it's not iconic. But yeah,
I'm still cringing on this one. I'm gonna move that to B because that's me.
Oh, just exerting that power because you have control of your window.
All right, so let's do Iron Giant.
Let me look here. Is Oliver and Company on this?
Oliver Company.
That was before. It's 88, if I remember.
Oh, that was 88. Okay, that was too early.
I know it does feel like a 90s film.
So let's do
it
Iron.
It really does.
This one I would say is it does string the heartstrings there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people know it. If you saw, we did a review of Ready Player One. This robot's in that movie because a lot of people are a fan of this movie.
Wasn't that Vin Diesel? Didn't he practice being I Am Groot with Iron Giant?
Yeah. So he's
basically one thing.
A lot of kids. If you didn't like Disney movies, Iron Giant was like your movie.
I didn't see this till much later in my life, and I think it is a solid A. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's overlooked by like a lot of people.
I don't know if I would put it. It's a low A. I will say that it's not. It's like just cutting it for me. It has good elements, but I feel like it was a story that could have benefited by having some other creative elements to help move it along. Music is a huge part of animation. The music was kind of forgetful. Compared to these other ones. When I think about great soundtracks, I don't hear people saying, "Oh, I love listening to the Iron Giant," but they will say all the time that they go out, they listen to the Lion King, Pocahontas, Beauty and the Beast. For me, Balto. So it's not. If they had done the music better, I think we would have had a low S tier.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
yeah. Good points. All right, so we're gonna do another. We'll do a fun another Disney movie here. We'll do Toy Story. Now, this is when they first did Pixar's first movie. I remember waiting an hour for this movie in the line when you used to do those type of things. I would say this is an S tier because it was revolutionary. It did come at the end of around the middle of the 90s. It changed animation going forward. The characters are still in the park. There's a dang park named after it.
I think it's S tier on its impact from what went forward, but just on its own, as much as I love that stupid movie, I have to say like A.
Okay. Mando, Jeff.
I'd agree. Like impact, absolutely. Like it's still very much talked about to this day. So many sequels. But I'd put it at A. Like
Okay. All right. Jeff.
Well, I gotta say it is for me a very solid S. A very solid S because the music is fantastic. The story is actually I know some people criticize the story, but compared to the other um the other sort of stories you could have done with toys, it was actually really well done. And
Yeah.
there had been people, they had tried to make inanimate objects, try and make a story around it. They failed miserably. And yet, we're going to come to this later on. Other ones failed miserably. Toy Story
My
is a
Little Toaster is
masterpiece.
a fabulous movie.
But that's not the original. The original came out in the 80s, the Toaster movie. So,
But the what you see with Toy Story is phenomenal in what they had. The movie should have failed multiple times and it still came out and it was artistic. Unlike another one, which we're going to come to in a little bit here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can be convinced an S on that. I'm not by myself. I'm not totally convinced, but I can understand going with an S on that.
all right. So we're gonna jump to another sequel. No, actually, this is my. I want to hear what Beard has to say about this one, since he was such a fan of the Animaniacs. So we're gonna do the Animaniacs movie. Has anyone seen the Animaniacs movie?
I
have.
honestly don't remember it at all.
You're such a fan of the show, you don't know the movie.
I probably
say it's
saw it, but I don't remember it.
I'd say it's C to B. Like it's a fun little movie. Is it like life changing? No, but
Yeah,
it's fun.
like I said, I don't really remember it, but if I have to assume, I think it would probably be a feature-length version of an episode of the Animaniacs.
All right.
That's basically
which would not be very high in my opinion.
So okay, so we're gonna move on. I'll put it there at a C. Okay, so let's do Tarzan. Now Tarzan, it's got really good music.
It is a solid
I've got lyrics from that movie tattooed on my body. It is S tier.
All right, I'm not fighting that. It is a really good movie though. It was really good.
No,
So this is the pinnacle of
have a
2D animation.
Yeah. All right. So we'll put that up there, and you know it's a fun story.
I mean, it's really unfair because that era of Disney films is basically just all S tier. A at the least.
So let's do another kind of like Space Jam. It was live action with cartoon. And this is another movie right around kind of like Beavis and Butthead. Your parents probably didn't want you to watch this movie, even though it was animation and it was in the 90s. It was Cool World with Brad Pitt. He's an animator where he gets sucked into his world. He's trying to save his characters. But has anyone seen Cool World?
I have never seen it, but I've heard that what's her face rivals Jessica Rabbit, so I should see it.
It was
It's
basically
F tier. I've not seen it, but here's the thing: the film. The only reason why people the only reason why people were supposedly going to it was because of debauchery. This is the only one on this list that I will say was designed by people who were intentionally trying to get people to watch it for
it was
reasons. So that's why I put it F tier, because it fails at music. Its animation may be good, but everything around it was designed for a different type of audience.
Yeah,
I actually got a video from somebody I'm subscribed to on YouTube on my playlist. I haven't watched it yet. That suggests that Cool World was intended to be an adult animated film, and they toned it down.
Yeah, it's supposed to be adult. It was very much so. And some of us got taken to the movie theater to go see that one with our father. Okay,
JT had some awkward moments sitting in the movie next to his parents.
We'll do the next version of Pixar, and that's The Bug's Life.
I love The Bug's Life.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's great Toy Story, but I'm gonna say it's an A. It's a fun movie.
I'd say it's an A.
Yeah, it's a fun
solid
movie.
A.
And then we're gonna do the competition that tried to do the same thing. Ants.
Garbage.
I liked it too. It was
Look,
fun.
I've gotten older, and listening to some of the explanations on how the grasshoppers want to control the ants and the allegory to modern government, I've come to appreciate it more. But no, it's definitely not anywhere near ants.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it at C for me.
Or not near Bug's Life.
Ants. Here's the thing.
It was a copy.
It was atrocious animation. The story was average. The music, nothing to write home about. D.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right.
Because I've seen Bug's Life more than once. I think I've seen Ants about halfway through.
I would rather go out and watch Space Jam than watch Ants again.
Yeah, Space Jam's got music.
All right, so we're gonna do another one here. We'll do Rockadoodle. Now we've reviewed this movie on our channel. We all loved it when we rewatched it. Beard, you weren't around.
That was before my time. I have never watched that.
Rockadoodle.
Never had any interest to watch
You
it.
should.
It's got some quality music.
Interest?
It's got some
like
good
an
music.
Elvis. It's an Elvis movie with chickens.
And they save a farm. So
They save the farm. The whole point is, if he doesn't sing, the world will flood.
yeah, it's pretty much the movie because he's the rooster.
So you're saying that cocks save the world?
I guess I am.
That's what she said.
So basically,
just a layup right there.
I know. Yeah. If you, yes, because he's the rooster, he's supposed to bring up the sun. He stops singing, the sun doesn't come up, it just keeps raining, and all the owls want it to be dark so they can just take over the farm. So it's a fun movie. If Biggles was here, he reviewed it with us, he would put that on an S.
I don't know about
it's been on my list of movies to watch, but I've not seen it.
Well, I recommend that you watch it. Yeah, I think you will.
I do too.
It's on my list, but yeah, from what I've heard, I wouldn't say it's above. It definitely is not better than American Tail or Down Under, as I understand. I might have my mind changed when I see it, but I think in terms of what other people have reviewed, I would probably say
I'm going to stick with an A. But you can watch our review of that on our channel. By the way, we did review that. All right, so let's get into some more Disney. Let's do Hercules.
Hercules.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it was S. I would say it's more of an A.
You mean Huncules is not S tier with the singing choir? Really?
Okay. I think,
and that's the gospel truth.
I'm torn because yes, the gospel music is fantastic, and also James Woods as Hades is freaking-tastic. I don't know if I want to go S. It's
I'm
a
going
tough
A.
call for me.
It's definitely an A. It's not a B. I know that much, but it's definitely not
Right,
S. Part of the
Yeah.
problem of that animation is if you can see it as in Disney's, when you look at them chronologically, what Disney was doing with their films. When you get to Hercules, they're starting to break from trying to make the artistic masterpieces, and they're starting to go with more of a cartoony look and feel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's true.
it suffers from that because I think when you do that, you start to invite other compromises that really make something a masterpiece.
Yeah,
Okay.
if they had done like Lion King, like animation with this, with Jason Alexander and James Woods and things like that, I think absolutely S tier. But I can see what you're going for. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's definitely a different tone as far as the animation goes.
Story was good, music was fairly
So-
good, but there's a couple that I'm not a fan of. And I think if they had another 6 months to plan it out and refine it, we would have had a masterpiece.
All right. So let's do. This came out around the same time as Hercules. Let's do Mulan.
As a woman, I am obligated to say S tier.
Okay. I would agree.
That
S.
is the
It's a
most
good movie.
woman empowerment movie of the 90s. I am required to say S tier.
I definitely didn't appreciate Mulan in its time. After the live action, yes, this is an amazing movie.
Alaska Jeff, what do you say?
Um,
It has great music.
This movie is really good. It's one of the first. So when I was watching this movie is when it finally clicked how they were drawing their characters. So I think very highly of this movie. I don't think that it is S tier though. That pains me to say. It is high A. It is probably the highest A that we will have. But as for S tier, there's a couple of elements in it that makes me question that. When I think about all animated films and I think about the absolute greats, I think the absolute greats have to be in the S tier. The very close to being a great is in the A.
Okay. So you say
I
A.
can agree with that.
So what do we say? A or S?
I mean,
I say
I can agree with A because I don't hold this nearly high regard as I do with the other things that we have in S.
Are we
I
gonna make?
think it is
Remember-
great, and Ming Na Wen is fantastic as Mulan, but just in general, it's just not as memorable for me.
Okay, so the goal is to really kind of the S's has to be special, right?
No, they have to be timeless.
Okay. Is
So
Mulan
if you actually look at Mulan, here's one of the reasons why it's kind of interesting how they went about it. If you look at Chinese culture, and then you watch the movie, you realize that a lot of the stuff they have in the culture is actually Japanese. And it's because it was harder to try and find elements of Chinese culture to be able to add it in there because the Chinese Communist Party destroyed it.
Destroyed everything.
Oh,
That's too
okay.
bad.
Interesting.
Okay, that's I didn't know that. All right, so now let's do another this this is right along the lines with
F.
Beavis and Butthead. But this is South Park.
An
Bigger
abomination to art.
I mean, I can understand
I have
that.
not seen it.
I've only seen clips, but I can definitely get that it's on tier with Beavis and Butthead. It's about the gimmicks and things like that. It's
Yeah.
not about the animation. It's not necessarily about the story. It's about the joke to joke. It's about LPMs, what we call laugh per minute. And
Yeah.
you don't have to have a good story or good
It does
animation.
it
to
does
get
make
LPMs.
fun of Canada a lot, which I enjoy. And
I appreciate that.
and just because they make fun of Canada a lot in that movie, I'm going to put it as a D.
You know, the beauty of animation is that it's an artistic field, and so I have to look at it from that. So I still have to say it's F.
Well, I'm going to give it a D because of Canada. All right, so then let's go to just kind of maybe get back to Beard here, but Doug's first movie.
Why do you say that when on the Monday I told you I didn't watch much Nickelodeon? I've never seen this.
Either have I.
Really?
You were championing Doug on Monday. What is wrong with you?
I'd say it's at least C. Like it's a fun movie.
Would you say it was with Space Jam?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about Rugrats?
B.
F.
Solid B to A.
Wow.
Take
We got
It there's this is so let me take a brief moment to be on a soapbox here about art and animation. During the late 90s, there was this push to try and reimagine art. Disney was on top, and people were like, well, we're not going to be able to compete with Disney. What can we do other than that? They decided they were going to go in the complete opposite direction. Art that was intended to make it offsetting. So they would do things like if you're going to have a character with a wart on him, you wouldn't just make it a wart, you make it with hairs, you make it with pus coming out.
Yeah.
That was the sort of concept. Make it an abomination. That's why when I see something like that, it is truly off-putting in the world of art and animation because it was not designed to be artistic. It was designed to be upsetting to the viewer. There's no reason to want to watch it. There's no reason to want to see the characters because it's designed to be off-putting.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was off-putting. I
love
love
Rugrats.
I'm not saying whether or not you love it. I'm saying artistically, it's abysmal.
I know that this was a cultural thing because I never saw it, but I saw it everywhere. So wherever you want to go, whatever.
So I was living in Japan towards the last part of the 90s. When we were over there, I was actually somewhat sheltered from the transition that happened here in the States. So when we left, we had just seen top-notch Disney animations. We were overseas and we were surrounded by Japanese art. Very high quality stuff, but it wasn't as good as Disney animation. And so we were like, well, this is good. I wonder what sort of movies and shows are being made back in the US. We arrive back, and the first thing we're met with is a character who is eating another character's barf and things like that. And I'm like, what is wrong with this? And then I found out years later, it was because they were intentionally trying to make something that was non-artistic, something that was upsetting to the viewer. And that's where SpongeBob came from. That's where Rugrats came from. That's where South Park came from. All these things have their roots in an anti-art animation movement.
Nickelodeon definitely did have a certain style during this time.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see the cartoon Beard and the Monkey?
George of the jungle.
Why?
Sorry.
I would watch a show like that.
Yeah, Beard and the
God.
Monkey.
I will not explain to you where that came from.
So I got to know, why does Rugrats end up in C? You've heard my reason why it's an F.
I'm gonna go nostalgia on that one. That was a really fun movie, fun show for me. It's on the line with Doug. So
as much as I didn't watch it or care for it, I think I was kind of. I don't know. I recognize that it was iconic for its time, but I would not rank it C. But I have not seen that movie. I'm just going off the TV show. So since I haven't seen the movie, I can't rank the movie.
okay, well, I guess we'll put it here. Alrighty. Now let's do Beauty and the Beast, the Christmas one. Has anybody seen that one?
I have. It's very sweet, very cute. I'd say it's solid B.
I think it's better than most of the sequels that they did. Right. It takes time in between the first movie sometime. So
I've heard it put that it was that it was a forgetful animation. It wasn't great, wasn't bad. It's just forgetful.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was very I thought that it was a very, very cute storyline, very fun.
I'd probably put it in the C and D category just because it lacked the impact that a lot of the other animations had.
Right.
My only opinion on it is I knew it existed, and I knew it existed before the end of the movie, and the original movie, and I thought, why bother? so I just wrote it off. I never saw it.
So this came, yeah, it's it. I think it should. I think it's one of the better Disney sequels, so it's got to be above Aladdin's version here. All right, so let's do Prince of Egypt.
S tier. I will fight you.
Yeah, it's definitely S tier.
Just,
I
just
agree.
for the soundtrack.
I
Just for the
agree.
soundtrack.
In terms of
that
animation,
movie
it is
came
on
out-
par with Tarzan, and I view Tarzan as the pinnacle of animation. Prince of
Well,
Egypt is very close to that.
Prince of Egypt came out of nowhere. Nobody
It was in
expected it,
98.
saw it coming, and it was
yeah.
fantastic.
It was in '98. It was kind of when Jeff was talking about when Disney was kind of transitioning out of the masterpieces, so it came at the right time. But yeah, it's one of the besides Balto, it's one of the
Balto.
Yeah, Balto.
Ball toe.
Oh, okay.
As you throw a ball.
Ball.
Now they're both not coming back. Thanks, JT.
No, it's okay.
Belt.
All right, so yeah, we got Prince of Egypt. We'll put it on S there. Always a fun movie. If you're watching, you've never seen any of these, I do recommend them. They're fun, especially if you have kids.
And a lot of people might be put off with Prince of Egypt because it's a biblical story. You don't have to be into that or believe it necessarily to just enjoy that. It is a good movie, fantastic animation.
Beautiful. It's just beautiful. There are no other words to describe.
Right. Okay, so Toy Story 2 came out in '99, so it kind of counts. I wouldn't say it's better than the first one.
Oh, it's
I would
definitely
say it was one of the sequels that came to the movie theater from Disney, which was rare at the time. I do say it's better than Beauty and the Beast, so I'm going to put it at A.
I kind of give that one a C.
Whoa.
Or no, actually a B. Sorry, a B. Yeah, because it, in my opinion, it's 1, 3, 2 in order of Toy Story movies. 4 doesn't exist. Anything else they put out doesn't exist.
Okay.
I have to say it's at the bottom of the S tier.
Okay. So you're kind of right around the A.
So
Mando.
when I actually was in the theater in Japan when this came out, and when they mentioned that the toys are being sent to Japan, Tokyo, the whole theater erupted into applause. But as for the story, I think that my nostalgia for it is fairly high just because it was a funny film in terms of a masterpiece. It wasn't nearly as good as the original in terms of story, but it was very good in terms of animation, very good with music. So because of those elements, I put it fairly high up.
Mando.
I'd say A. Absolutely.
Okay.
So I say we're
I
going to
don't
stick
like
with A.
3, to be honest.
Yeah. To the Toy Story trilogy, and I still refuse to acknowledge 4. That's kind of tainted in my family's eyes because my little brother, my youngest brother, was the age of Andy in Toy Story 1, and they aged up at the same time to Toy Story 3. So when Toy Story 3 came out, and my mother saw it, she cried like a baby because like he was the same age as her little boy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun movie. A lot of the Toy Story movies are always fun.
No hate there.
So we're gonna do Hunchback of Notre Dame because I'm trying to look at all the Disney movies here to make sure we get
S
them all.
tier.
So, really,
I would put it at S tier for the soundtrack.
well,
Like the fire, like chills.
I've only seen this movie once and I don't remember it, so it's gonna probably be a
Yeah,
B
I'm kind of the
because
same.
because I'm thinking B because it's Disney.
No,
Look,
it's A.
I know that they're like people. I know that people love it.
Don't make me take
just-
away one of these.
Yeah. I just when
We
it
can
comes
put
to
Iron
this,
Giant down to B if we move Hunchback up. I'm fine with that.
look,
Hunchback is definitely better than Iron Giant. Solidly.
okay.
It's not S tier by all means. This is another one where you could see the magic of Disney was starting to break. It wasn't gone, but the reason why is because some of the and it's not the artistic direction, it's not the music, it's the pacing in the way that they told the story that you could tell that the cracks in Disney were starting to appear. So it's higher up than Hercules, but it's not S tier, which could have been fixed if they had some of their older team maybe working on it to help refine the story.
Well, I'll switch it out with Rockadoodle.
Kind of fade.
I agree with that. That's it. Yeah.
I'll switch it out with Rockadoodle. How about that? Now, some of these other ones down here are, I don't know. Like, I don't know which one to pick here.
You have a duplicate of Swan Princess.
We do. We have duplicates. Fantasia, that's 2000. I'm not going to count that one.
Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond. Okay, so let's do Batman Beyond. What? That's a Joker.
Yeah, I love Batman Beyond.
Return of the Joker. That is with like Tim Drake like being infused with like the Joker. Yes, absolutely.
A lot of people think this is S tier.
Okay, actually, let me pull back a little bit. I'll give it A, not S tier. I think it's A.
I think it's A as well. The Batman movie here is probably the biggest shocker.
Well, see, the Mask of the Phantasm doesn't deal with a known character. Batman Beyond deals with a known character that if you've been like watching the series, you've already invested in, and you never see that coming if you've never seen it.
Okay.
The plot twist like comes out of nowhere.
Because how does Joker come back so far into the future when he's supposed to be gone? In the most terrible way possible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Don't spoil it.
I would say it's in the B category because of animation and music. So
well,
when I compare it to these other ones, I know there's some of these that we definitely want to put higher. There, like if I was to put shift some of these around, I would put them in wildly different areas, in part because of nostalgia. But in terms of all the different factors that go into making a story, it misses on some of the most key elements of an animated film.
Well, I'm going to put it at the same level as the other Batman.
Okay.
Because
I know the music is not really iconic. It was definitely a product of its time, and the like the theme they were going for, which is not for everybody and doesn't really make for this grand like orchestral score and thing like that. But okay, I'll give it that.
What I like to try and do is that I think about the different things that go into making a film, and if it can max out all those categories, that's where it really makes it good for me. But if it's like lacking on the animation, well, that's going to dock it a little bit. If it's lacking on the music, then it's going to dock it. I'm not saying that the story is bad. I'm saying that the other elements that make a good animated films, it's lacking in.
No, I can appreciate that.
All right. Okay, so what other ones do you want to review, or do you want to kind of
Once Upon a Forest?
Okay.
What now?
Once Upon a Forest.
Really, Beard? You've not seen that movie?
I have never heard of this movie until right now.
Yeah, me either.
It is a good one. In terms of non-Disney animation.
Mando, hang on. You've been on Jacob's streams with me. How long? And how many times do I say that I've never seen a movie?
This is one of those to me it's a classic that so many people like have actually seen, but they didn't realize they saw it. It's a fabulous movie. Like
so
the simple fact.
Would you say
I would put it at S tier. I would put it at S tier, but I know because like not many people have seen it. I would say solid A, solid B. It is a great story of friendship. Like it is so good.
Movie.
This did what I believe Fern Gully failed to do. Now, because it had a very similar message in many ways, but I think artistically they nailed this one really well. It's not in the S category, but man, it got very close for a non-Disney film to get there. Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those. It's a
movie that never existed. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a tearjerker. It pulls at your heartstrings. It's just a great movie.
All right. We'll believe you. We'll put it at A there. For you all.
Y'all need to watch more movies, man.
We're on a movie channel. We watched plenty of movies. I'm gonna do Tom and Jerry because we did the Jetsons. I'm gonna put that one right below Jetsons by actually, but
Put a C or D.
yeah,
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just not great.
Um,
It's better than Gumby. Definitely better than Rugrats and Doug the movie.
yeah.
I don't.
What's also funny is I can't. This is Mickey's Christmas. I can't. This is not Christmas Carol. It's Mickey's Christmas. Something else.
I think that's a combination of shorts.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's the Christmas Story is what it is. Special, where it's like, yeah, Once Upon a Christmas. It's the one where like he like pawns his watch or something, the harmonica to buy
And then
the
Minnie.
necklace. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's just because I always enjoyed that one around Christmas. I'll put it probably around here. So, Beard,
Cute little one.
We're each gonna pick one from the list. So I picked Tom and Jerry and Mickey.
Don't ask me.
Wait. Whoa,
I'm
you
looking
can't
at-
just pick a couple of these. There are so many good ones here.
Yeah, but some of
I'm
these
looking
didn't
at the
actually.
list.
Some of these didn't actually come out in the '90s. Like American Tail, this came out in the '80s, so it shouldn't even be on this list. Fantasia came out in 2000. That
one actually did come out.
I
That's
think
American
only-
Tail 3, if I remember right.
Oh, that might
I
be
think the
3.
only movie on this entire list that's remaining that I've seen is Pokemon.
Yeah, we do. Okay, let's do Pokemon then.
That was
we did.
What Pokemon wasn't it? Pokemon 2000?
Pokemon 2000 was the one that came out afterwards, the one with the legendary birds.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the rest of these I don't think I've seen at all. So this is the end of my input.
Well, so there are duplicates on here. I do apologize. There are duplicates. But Pokemon. Anybody's seen this?
I've seen it.
And
It's fun. It's dumb. It's not great.
okay.
See
So
your
it's a C.
By the way,
It's Pokemon.
If you first off, Japanese movies always suffer from their storytelling structure. It's very different than their TV shows. It's always been that way. But one of the things that you will notice with the American one, there's areas where it's like, what is going on? It was because it was considered too dark to put it on an American movie, so they actually cut out some of the most important storytelling elements.
Yeah.
Honestly, it is way too dark for a Pokemon movie. So I understand why they did it. But yeah, that's why it feels so weird. I would not say it's very high on the list.
During the 90s, cuts and translations really hamstringed a lot of Japanese animation. I mean, stupid things. Just sticking with Pokemon, when Brock says, he stole my donut, and it's a fucking, sorry, it's freaking rice ball. It's not a donut.
It's okay.
So this one got censored because it was dealing with a dying child and how they were trying to use Mewtwo to be cloned to insert the child's soul into it, which became the plot line for Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I know some of you have been streaming a lot long today, so that's why I'm trying to see if we can just pick one or two to kind of wrap it up. Jeff, out of this list,
you reviewed some of the garbage Nickelodeon movies, and you're gonna skip past some of these. Oh, you kill me!
All right,
well, which one do you want to talk about?
Give them each two. They can each have two.
Two.
And then we'll wrap it up.
All right, we'll give you 2.
Put Cats Don't Dance up there.
Okay.
That was going to be one I would choose if nobody else chose it.
That's a good one. I say this is a high B. I don't think it's or a low A. It's definitely not better than that. It's probably not worse than that.
Okay.
It's very entertaining, good music, and honestly suffered from production cuts.
I like how he's so mad that we made him review like 2 or 3 Nickelodeon movies. All right. Pick your second one then, Jeff.
All right, the second one here is going to be The King and I.
Okay, I was curious. I have never seen that one, but I was curious who was
Underrated. Honestly, very good. I love the original story of The King and I. It is honestly a very overlooked musical. This one was a remake through an animation form. When I saw the movie, I don't think it's better than the original movie. I put it in a solid B, maybe a C, but it's definitely better than any of the other ones in the C category. Good movie, worth watching, very hard to get your hands on.
Okay. Well,
I may have seen that one. I just
let's
don't
put it
recall.
at B. And you are right. Fantasia 2000 actually came out in 99. So we can do that one too if everyone wants to talk about that one.
All right.
I think this was a if you've seen the original, that one's always the best one, I think, the Fantasia 2. This is kind of like a different version of that. I would say this was an A just because of the music alone is
good.
It's really
Animation's top tier too.
The first one though is better. The original. See, look, now he's all mad. So
yeah, he's I'm very mad. Down from Alaska and fight you.
We got my dog sled already.
Also, get over here, Beard. Well, we can have the rumble of the two biggest states in the country, Alaska and Texas. So,
anytime we make a joke about the size of Texas, Alaska Jeff always swings in. He's like, "Hey, Alaska, screw you."
Yep.
Pretty much. All right. Mando, do you want to pick
one?
Do you want to pick some of these?
So I wish I keep forgetting that Secret of Nim was actually an 80s movie. But I want to at least talk about it. Like, so I saw Secret of Nim 2. It's not great, especially compared to the first one. I'd put it at like a D, like a solid D. I put it there. I wish I could put it higher because the first one, Secret of Nim, was a great movie. Heart tearjerker, heart clincher. Yeah. This one was a sequel that nobody really wanted or needed. But it's there and people don't, there are so many people who don't know about the Secret of Nim. So like that's why I want to at least talk about it. This definitely not a great sequel, but it's good in my opinion. Like good enough.
All right, so what's the second one?
Second one, Little Toaster.
Oh my! You're gonna choose that over Quest for Camelot?
Yeah, but these are the sequels. These aren't the. This is a sequel, and this is a sequel. So you're doing sequels over a Quest for Camelot.
Fine. Yes. Quest for Camelot. That was
our guess.
What?
I mean, Secret of Camelot is great. Like it's definitely B to C. Like I enjoyed it. I feel bad that Little Toaster doesn't get enough love. That was my only reason.
He was the 80s.
Toaster should be shorted out.
The first Brave Little Toaster was a really good movie. I don't know about the sequels.
But yeah, Camelot, great movie.
Now I'm very curious about this one here, The Legend of Titanic.
I have never heard of it.
Never seen
Me neither.
Heard of it.
Yeah, but do you think she lets him drown?
Probably.
Yes. Okay, that's why it's all
women, right?
I'm gonna assume that yes, and so
don't give me that look. No, I'm right.
It's gonna get I have never seen it, so I don't know. All right.
I mean, of what's left, the one that I'm kind of most interested in is Lion King 2 because I don't think I've ever seen that, but I've had it actually recommended to me as a pretty.
It's a great movie.
Sequel.
Okay.
I'd say A, pretty good A. Like I'd put it in A.
I'd say a solid B.
Okay.
It's not, honestly, it's not a great film. It does have good elements, but in terms of music, animation, and the story was good. Art and animation, it suffers from.
Would you say it was better than the Beauty and the Beast Christmas?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to go in it.
All right.
But I put Cats Don't Dance in the same category.
Wow. Okay, we can put that there. Our A is getting kind of thick here.
How many C's?
That's what she said.
Problem would be solved if we moved Iron Giant.
To S? Sure.
No, down to the C range.
All right.
He has too much power. Too much power.
Is there any on here that we cannot leave out?
Not a lot of people are going to know about it, but actually, I would put out a comment for American Tail 3. I think the icons for the first one, but American Tail 3 came out during this time frame. Bad animation, mediocre story, mediocre music, but it was actually fairly decent for kids. As an adult, it's not great, but it's entertaining for kids.
So this is the third one. So it is the third one.
And some hilarious quotes in there. I will say that. Absolutely hilarious quotes.
Now I've never heard of this one. It's called Only Yesterday. If you actually search top 90s animation, this movie comes up. I've never seen
it.
No,
me neither.
Never.
Yeah, if you so if there's anybody in the chat that knows about it or anything like that, if you it's in the list of like some of the best out there. So don't know. I mean, I think it's an anime, to be honest.
Probably. It looks like a Japanese animation.
Yeah, it came out in 1991. It's about a story of a child, about someone in Tokyo. So it is so just based on what I've seen on here, it's actually got almost an 8-star rating on IMDb. So I'm just going to put it up here and just have a feeling it should be included. Yeah. Some people even like this.
Anything that's left there at the end, just like that's Walmart bargain bin right there.
I don't know
before time.
I don't know about DuckTales.
Doesn't deserve to be in the bargain bin.
I will never acknowledge any Land Before Time sequel.
Yeah,
you know what? And that's fine. They don't need to acknowledge you either.
Yeah, because the first one was good without being a musical.
I'm gonna put all the Land Before Times there. I'm gonna put all the Toasters here. I'm like waiting for like the steam to come off Jeff's face.
Hey, the Little Toaster is better than Rugrats and South Park.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I guess we'll put this here.
Victory 2 was all right.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I'm gonna put that with that one. These are duplicates. I've never seen this movie. Scooby-Doo is always fun, so I'll put it kind of around there. Alvin and Chipmunks about the same with Scooby-Doo. There we go. And I've never seen this movie either.
I think anything Alvin and the Chipmunks should be F, just because of the voices.
Bardock is just a fun little.
Okay. You've actually seen it, so okay, we'll put it in the fun little C's. All right, those are duplicates, so we won't worry about those. All right, so there's our final list.
Dinosaurs were too nice.
You weren't alive then. You have no idea what they were like.
Jacob.
Really? Okay, here's our final list. The Supers, Lion King, Balto, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Pocahontas, Toy Story 1, Tarzan, and then Prince of Egypt. And then I slid in Iron Giant in there.
I would switch that out with Rescuers Down Under.
I would as well.
All right.
That's a toss-up.
Okay.
In terms of animation, music, and story, Rescuers Down Under is really good.
It is.
Okay.
Jacob. I'm going to fight you, Jacob.
Okay. So there we go. That is our final list. Would you say final on this?
I can live with it.
Okay.
I can live with this.
So I'm going to download this later. It does show as an image. I'll share it on x.com on the After the Weekend channel account. And we'll see what you all think of our selections.
I think we can all agree that the 90s were a great time for animation. That was like
yeah,
peak animated film right before things started to kind of fall off. We started to lean too hard into 3D, and the soul kind of the animation was lost and things like that.
yeah.
A lot of animation, a lot of projects that started at the very last bit of the 90s would be released around 2002, 2003, 4 time range. After 2003 and 4 is like when everything just got axed over there. That's when people
Yeah.
lost their jobs. That's when all the animated films started to tank in the theaters. Around that time frame is when you had films like Treasure Planet and Brother Bear, which honestly should have been much better, but their budgets were cut. They were given worse
I love
worse
Treasure
release
Planet.
dates.
Oh yeah, Treasure Planet.
Yeah,
Look,
there was
Emperor's New Groove is one of my favorites, and it was like the last great.
Yeah, there
like,
was
Disney animated
But
film.
all those began in the late 90s.
The Road to El Dorado was also a really good underrated one in my opinion.
Yeah, those were all 2000s. And then you had Titan AE.
Titan AE, yep.
Yeah, that was
it suffered from a lot of it. I could see what they were going for, and I appreciate it, but they fell short.
That was the one that literally brought Fox Animation to close their doors. All right, so this was fun. If you would like me, Beard, or R2, or other guests to do this again with other movies, or maybe 80s animated movies, or even go beyond that, if or like maybe the first Disney movies, we can do that too. But I had fun tonight. It was a fun Saturday. It was a little bit different than what we normally do on this channel, so it was fun to do, and it gave everyone a little bit of a break from all the Acolyte.
Get back down there.
The Acolyte stuff. So. Comment
I'm not
below.
the one who moved me up there in the first place. Yeesh.
Comment below what you think about our list, and again, I will share this on x.com. You can follow us over there at After the Weekend, and we're very. There we go. So everyone have a safe weekend. Does anybody want to do a shout out at anything that are doing this weekend or in the next couple of days? Is anybody? No.
Jeff, you got anything?
Well, the big thing that I've been working on is just trying to get some animations and production stuff set up for kind of a small studio that I've been in the works of trying to do. It's called Castercraft. I'm slowly trying to get stuff out there. A lot of projects in the work. Did everything freeze?
Yeah, you're frozen.
Okay,
We
well,
can
that's
still hear you,
unfortunate.
but you're frozen.
Well, let me just double check. Okay, you can at least hear me. That's good enough.
Yeah,
The moment I start trying to get ready to show things related to what I'm doing, the computer decides to freeze. Anyway, check Castercraft if you have any interest in that sort of stuff. I don't know how big we'll go with some of these stories, but we do have upwards of 5-minute animations that are in the works that we're trying to get done. Small team trying to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we'll put after the show is published, we'll put a lot of this stuff in the description. And again, Mando, do you have anything going on? No.
This Tuesday I'm on Gord King's channel. I'll probably stream on Kick and Twitch at some point in time, and then Thursday I will be suffering.
You don't have
because
to watch
Roman of the freaking Empire. No,
Hey.
I told him months ago. I was like, yeah, I'll review the Acolyte with you and stuff. And
Do me a
now
favor.
I've been in a
The power of one, the power of two.
Do me a
power of
favor.
many.
If you're close to an Olive Garden, go buy a bag of breadsticks that's only like $3 and eat them on stream. I will Vimeo you like $5-10.
We should do that. Like, we should like message Joker and everybody, and just
I want you to do it.
and
breadsticks.
every time I go to cut, like I'll just use scissors.
And if you have to go through that, he has to see you eat the breadsticks. So, all right. So you definitely. Anyways, it's again. Thanks for coming by and watching us here on After the Weekend. This has been fun. Again, if you want us to review anything like this or do something different, let us know. And all right. Well, everyone, you have a fun, safe rest of your weekend. We'll see you next time on After the Weekend. Everyone, say bye.
Bye. Toodaloo.
Truck to refrigerators to dumpster 360 spin onto the Palace, backflip gainer into the trash.
This is it. Nick, big just relax and have fun.